Hello. Trapper, how you doing, buddy?
What's up?
Ted, how you doing, buddy? Got it figured
out? Well, we're gonna roll with it. We'll see how I'm doing. I'm not sure.
That's awesome. Lenny, how you doing? Charles, how you doing? Yeah, man, what a day. Crazy. Hello. Hope everyone's had a great day, great afternoon. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah. G&B, hello. Man, let's just get started. Let's just jump right into it. I'm feeling like crap, man.
Yeah, me too.
Trevor, I know you're sick too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's
everyone doing?
Well,
I just cannot kick this thing.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right with that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it. We got that phone call you all know about. Ted, you were with us when we went out. Out today. Went back to that area today, actually. And I didn't do a hunt per se. I just kind of followed tracks, went off, picked up on some other tracks that I seen. Got on these weird prints I'd like to put you on, Trapper, because
definitely.
These prints were just going into places I don't even know why they went through. But I found a branch where it broke, and it looks like it started going on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
Big prints right next to each other, bam, every 4 feet, taking off, and it broke through this wooded section, prickers, vines, and just smashed everything down.
It's weird, Trapper, because the tracks that we found, they look very similar to a monkey foot, and it's bipedal, 2 feet. And the one we found where there was a tail drag mark, but I got no other way to. And they run through the woods with a 3.5 foot stride. One of them, I think, got a 5 foot stride, ridiculous. But a small monkey foot, it looks like about this big, and goes to a tree, and it goes up the tree.
Wow.
We don't have a good explanation for it at all.
Yeah, but Ted, these prints today were bigger. They were about 21.
You were saying that you had found one that was something like 21 inches, and you had something run towards you, but then hopped up a tree that you said was larger than me.
Yes. And just to tell you, the camera caught it.
It's good.
Blurry.
Okay.
It's blurry, but I had the camera facing this area, Trapper, and I had something running, and it jumped off this cliff onto a tree and went up the tree.
Wow.
To where I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was looking down and the camera was pointed that way. And when I looked up, that's when I caught it, at the last couple steps, and then the jump onto the tree and up it went. And I swore, when we were out there, you'll see the video where I was like, I swear I seen something, leap off this cliff and jump into this tree and go up it. Well, the camera caught it. It's blurry, but the camera caught it. You know, I think it's because it was moving so fast and up it went. There was a second thing that I caught on there. It was a white face with two dark eyes, and I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, and I kept the camera there, and I was like, right there, you know, in front of me by this tree, looks like a Grim Reaper's face, you know. It had the white face with the black eyes, and I'll be damned, the camera caught that too. And when I'm walking up, you can see this thing go like around the tree, and then I, you know, and I'm not specifically just looking for that. I'm panning forward, and you know, it goes where that tree was, and I follow it and I keep it on there, and it just like gone. Kind of strange. That's some of the strange stuff, but those prints today, like I said, it looked like kangaroo jumping, you know, but prints, side by side, and just bashed through this area. And I just kind of went there, followed where I seen those big prints where I said that night. I got on some big prints I went and got back on those, and just got up to the, you know, that big hilltop and sat up there and did a live. And then, you know, I ended up falling and breaking my camera holder. So I had to hold the camera. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm with him, and I had the thermal running, and he says he sees a silhouette of something upright. Get over here with the thermal. I try to like hurry and rush, and I biffed it hard. Face planted into the snow, busted my camera holder.
Yeah, I went backwards and landed on my back, but luckily the bottom of the camera holder hit and just shattered.
Yeah.
But the camera was all right. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, it's just crazy, man. That night was crazy. I mean, and when they brung that tank in, whatever it was, they just drove over everything.
Everything. The police did that, because like I said, they're probably in their mind, or like people are crazy, it was a bear. But, you know, I mean, you could see from the tracks. And that's another thing, too. I found some strange tracks that definitely got good on the video. But I marked it with a glow stick so we could come back to look at it, and something stole the glow stick.
Yeah.
So, why would they bring a tank in and look for a bear?
Right. That's what I said. I said, and there's no way. I want to get that recording of them calling in as soon as they make that public, and add it to the video. And because they were arguing with them, because he said to dispatch it's a bear, and they were like, you're going to get somebody hurt because it was not a bear.
Right.
How big was the tank track?
Oh, it was
gosh,
big.
it was as wide as the trail there, if not a little wider.
Was it a full-size tank?
I don't know if it was a tank or like one of those side-by-sides, but with tank treads. But it was definitely tank treads.
Oh, yeah, because they're having that now. You can get tracks for a side-by-side or a four-wheeler or even a truck.
Yeah, humongous. Not, like it would sit 4 or 5 people. Maybe 6. I mean, they were just running over everything. They didn't care.
Yep. They were running over everything, making lots of noise. It sounded like what their theory was. And again, they're probably still thinking, I don't care what these crazy people say, it's still probably a bear. And they're just trying to scare every animal that was in there away. And I think they were fairly successful, other than a few little things there. Sticks thrown at us. We had a couple of whoops. And they said, stealing glow sticks again.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's... like I said, eventually I think they'll just shut that place down.
They keep getting calls there.
Fence it off and just leave it. I mean, that's 5 calls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 5 calls in 10 months.
Yeah.
So we have to see if those other calls are released and see if we can get those too.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. We both broke our camera holders. It's weird.
The footing in that place is definitely not. It's treacherous there, so it's not easy.
Oh yeah, and especially with the rain. Oh, and then it freezing back over. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Mary. Mary says they need a tank for a bear. Yeah, right. Exactly. And then it was weird because then, we had on there, we say, now there's planes, now there's, so there it had it all, planes, tanks, and automobiles.
Yeah. The research plane was just looping back and forth over our position, I mean, we kind of get that a lot of the nights we're there, but especially if
Mm-hmm.
it's nice weather.
Hmm.
But I mean, and it's not. This is not giving away the position or anything, but Kent State was the lead researcher in excavating a bunch of stuff in that whole area, the
Yeah.
geographic area. So when they
Right.
are coming over there, like, well, they've been researching that area for a long time.
Right.
I am.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Hello.
I agree with LIB there. The track vehicles with lidar.
Yeah.
You're right. I think it's probably a side by side that you can put tracks on now.
Yeah,
And it
that's
has
kind of what
lidar
my
on it.
thinking of it was.
Yeah.
Was the side by side with tracks on. But yeah, we could see that coming down the pathway and everything. Like they brought that in, and we've seen them like tear around through. They have those posts, so those types of vehicles can't get in. They just ran crap over
Yeah.
to get
They
around
didn't
it.
care. They didn't care what they were doing, driving over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they ran over some big, like some decent sized trees to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hmm.
So. But yeah, then instantly I'm following this track of it's got to be. I couldn't tell, and again, I'm not the track expert. I couldn't tell if this was a small bear or a gigantic coyote, but it was heading off the trail. It wasn't on the trail. It was a game trail, but it was literally I'm following these. This thing was following the game trail.
Right.
Was following it into the woods, and like I said, I mark it with a glow stick so we can come back and look at it. Glow stick's gone.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was gone, and it was gone quick. Gone quick. I'm with Heather on that. I explained today. I called a wildlife friend of ours, and they said they were like, no bear are out. There's nothing to eat for them.
Yeah.
They're not chasing down deer for meat because they would have no energy.
Right.
There's nothing. So a bear are going to come out in spring when their stuff's starting to eat.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm tossing out bear right out of there.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because, yeah, they don't want to waste their energy trying to chase down those deer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I got some new stuff. Got to be a little bit more because I've had some stuff come in. A little bit more specific, and I can give you a yes or a no.
Well, I got
Thank you.
I got my recorder device to pick up the sound. I just need the SD card's supposed to be here tomorrow. So, and I ordered a newer camera to test out, see whether it's any good. And because of my new camera mount, I can mount that on there and run all three cameras at the same time, and we'll be able to compare them.
Yeah.
Because I'll run the thermal, I'll run the phone camera, and I'll run this other one, and we'll test them out and see what's best.
Yep.
So.
Yes, the trimeter, I have it. I have the trimeter. So it'll be good. We have all the meters that we need. I would like to get a second one for the second camera I want to start using this year. I would like to get one more to put in the camera view, because what I want to start doing when we start going into these areas, around the entrance point, I want to start filming and have devices there on screen while we're deep in there and getting readings also, to see if anything changes when we're just not around at all. So I do have one. I'd like to get a second one.
Yeah.
I've heard about, LIB. I've heard about the Frogman.
Yeah, and that's popping up a lot.
Lately, it has been
a lot. Yeah.
I just don't know if Frogman's going to be popping up like here in the wintertime. Yeah. I mean, the water at that lake, it was solid ice. I mean, it maybe it's thawed out a little bit now, but
I'll tell you,
frogs are hibernating right now.
A lot of people have been reaching out and saying they're seeing a lot more stuff, even content creators, even people, paranormal, from paranormal to just hikers. People are starting to see a lot of different stuff. Something's going on, man. I'm telling you, something's going on. And it's weird that, in the 2024, in the 2025, the beginning of 2025, so much has already been seen, even in inner cities, which is crazy. So something's going on. I'm not putting anything under the carpet yet. It seems like we're just getting started.
Well, and it seems like on our hikes or our adventures here, nothing just fits into one box. So like if I want to even try to say, no, we're looking X and this only, nothing fits into, it's like what we're getting is just it's not fitting into one box. So, so whether it's disembodied voices or weird things that, like I said, beyond like what we could tell, monkeys or, I mean, just nothing is fitting into, well, this is what you should expect in Ohio woods. That's not what we're getting. It's not, right. And it's definitely not fitting into what ODNR says for their their box of checking. This is what you'll see in the woods, and very rarely anything else. It comes nowhere close to fitting in that box.
Right.
So, but even one that, like, whatever we think, we got a little bit different beliefs on this, and it just doesn't fit in either one of our boxes. So,
right. Good question, Joseph. We have this camera here. It's a 360 camera, so it sees all around. So if I'm facing this way, I don't have to turn around to see what's behind me. This will film it, and I don't even have to turn around and go like this with the camera. I can just keep walking straight. It's a 360 camera. And I took last year, I took most of the ending of the year to learn how to use this thing correctly. So it will definitely be implemented this year. So, and then, I'll have to go through, you'll see on the videos how to rotate and everything. But that's really a big learning curve.
Yeah. That's another thing. That's another thing. We get this new equipment, and it's not like, oh, let's just take it out of the box, put batteries in it, and use it. And none of it works like that. None of it. The thermal cameras, I got someone who was a professional using thermal cameras to adjust it, because I didn't know how. Even trying to go through their directions and everything. Nothing works when, like, it's none of it's that simple.
Right.
So I'm sure, like, I got this recorder, and I'm sure that's going to be a learning curve how to get that to work its best. Same thing with the new camera that's coming, and it's just like you said, when I drop some stuff and instantly it added up to right about $1,000. Like we had to go back and look for it. Thank God we found it.
Oh,
But,
Oh yeah, thank God.
it's just it's like the YouTube channel does not pay enough to cover just the equipment that I carry. So it's like it's barely covering the cost of that. It's maybe paying for some of the gas.
Yeah. Yeah, mine, I don't know why it does that. Maybe because of the area, being in a rural area. I don't know. It's not the best internet.
Yeah.
It freezes up sometimes.
Who's got their TV on in the background?
Or the program.
Oh, that might be. That TV's in like way the other room. I'm surprised you guys can hear it. Is it real loud?
Yeah. Sounds like somebody's cheering. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I think there's a movie on. I think it's called Outlaw King or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this video coming up is going to be some strange stuff. Definitely need to get you out there, Trapper.
Yes. Well, and this is the thing, Trap. When you're not there, there's definitely a hole because none of us are professionals. When we see these tracks, we're trying. Like, I'm trying to study these different types of tracks, but it's like I'm still guessing at best. Like where it's like I look at you. If you give me an answer on it, I'm like, okay, I can take that to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
So
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's each one of us fits in pretty good with our part. But
Absolutely.
So me and so when you're not there, we're trying to fill in for your part, and we just don't have the same kind of knowledge base.
Yeah, and Junior wanted to be here tonight, but he got called into work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
We all miss him.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, I ain't seen him in forever.
Yeah. He's been busy working, man. That time of year. It's just, he'll be back though. Don't worry. His return is imminent. He will be back.
Yeah. Well, and we're approaching here. I think next month will be 1 year with me and your group here. I started in March. Was the first video I was in.
Yeah.
So
me and Trapper got another year coming up, going down.
And
yes, we do.
Well, and like I said, you guys did everything to put me through the fire, and I didn't scream and run away like a little girl or get scared and say I can't talk about it. I got issues.
Yeah, you do good out there.
So
you do good out there. Biggest thing is man, I want to be on top of this. So this week coming up, got to get to the caves. Got to get to the caves. Get that done, and then I would like to get into 3. Got to get into 3. He's been blowing me up. He's like, dude, come here.
That's the place I'm been dying to go.
Yeah.
So
caves and 3.
So
definitely up there.
The caves is one place, and I think I'm pretty sure I was at the caves with you before, but I've never been to 3, and that's exactly where I want to go.
Yeah. Well, the second set of caves, I'm not going to have you come out and do because that is a hell of a hike.
So the one you said
that's an all-day hike,
16 or 17 mile hike.
Yeah, that's an all-day hike. As much as I would want you to come out and do it, I'm going to sideline you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like when we do claim 2, it's, we cover easy, 9.5, 10 miles for the entire hike. And I handle that. Well, but hiking in 16 miles before we get to the site where we want to video.
And then another miles going around the area, and then another 16 out.
That's like an overnight. That's an overnight.
And near. We left early morning and we went live on the way back. It was damn near 2 a.m. time we got back.
It could have been it could have been an overnighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we started at 9 a.m, something like that, 8 or 9 a.m.
Yeah, 8 or 9.
Yeah. And it wasn't that on the way back. We kind of had that lapse in time.
Was that the caves? That wasn't the caves, was it?
I remember you guys telling me you had something like that where
Might have been the caves.
When we were coming down. Yeah. It happened. Yeah, that happened twice. I believe that was the journey from the long one. Then we ran into that guy deep out there fishing next to the river, sitting there. They camped or lived or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But was he like a homeless or feral?
Well, we think there's people live there at that time. I think we ran into that community out there.
Yeah,
there was like a community of people that was kind of living out there. We thought because is that the same one that we ran into that were hunting?
Yep.
For their food or something. Is that the time? And then we ran into another guy that was cleaning his rabbit or something. You remember that?
Yeah, that was strange.
Right in front of us. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
Yeah. Wait until you see this thing. I thought I was seeing things, but I was 100% adamant on this when I said this.
Mm-hmm.
It come running, and there was prints there, not saying that it made it, but okay, this incline coming off, it went up and dropped down like something like a ramp, but big, and there was trees out in front of it, and this thing ran, jumped, and clinged onto the tree and went up it. I mean, like really fast, but I caught it, and I was so happy I had the camera facing that way.
Yeah, and honestly, Jack, I think something that was a mistake on our part. We split up, and at the point where you called and said you needed help, I was the closest one to you, and I was over a quarter mile away from you, and it took me a while for me to get over to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm like, yeah, I was sitting there thinking of that. I'm like, why did we split off so far from each other? Because it's like if somebody needs something, nobody could get there quick.
Yeah,
and that place in particular, we've had those issues where it's like, hey, we need the other one there because the tree goes over or whatever. It's like, and yeah, we're far away from each other.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, and I don't say this a lot. Instantly, fear came over me. I was scared. I even say it on film. I'm like, I'm scared right now. I'm really scared right now. Like,
well, that's what I could tell when you called over the radio, and I'm like, I turned around quickly to get there, but I was a quarter mile away from you.
Yeah.
At least.
But I kept pushing
further
towards it, but I was like, man, I'm scared right now. But I kept pushing towards it. But yeah. That was the weirdest
thing.
And
it was very icy that night, especially where the police had ran their tank treads. They turned that thing to going up hills, and the hills on those paths were like solid ice from that tank tread.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's probably a side-by-side that had the tank. Well, I had the those tracks on it.
Yeah.
That's
what I was thinking. I mean, I've seen that. I've seen that before. I figured that's probably what they used.
Right.
Yeah.
But like I said, they ran it everywhere. They ran it all over there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And with as loud and as noisy that they went in, I doubt they seen much of anything. And I honestly think they were probably just trying to scare everything away at that point.
Right. Yeah. And that's what it was.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, no doubt in my mind.
They weren't trying to find anything. They were just trying to scare everything away.
Yeah.
So that was my opinion on that.
Yeah, probably if they're using that.
Yeah. And I'm sure it had some kind of, equipment on it like we use where they could see far,
Mhm.
heat signatures and thermals and
Yeah. Yeah, I seen Dan said go back there and prove them wrong. We've been trying to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and there's a difference here is, from us alone, we could have called the police, almost a dozen times back there with stuff like that. It's just the fact
oh,
that
absolutely.
we don't call the police because that's what we're out there looking for. So when
Right.
we find it, it's like, well, you don't call the police, you investigate it or just handle it yourself because we were looking
Andy,
for it.
hello, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Really
Yes,
do
welcome,
appreciate
Andy.
you. Thank you for stopping in. Now you're here. Now you got to subscribe. You got to hit that button and watch some content. You'll get addicted, Andy. Glad to have you, buddy. It's a great community. You'll love everybody in chat. Everybody's nice. Everybody's like family.
Right.
Yep. At the right place. Eric, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'll probably freeze up a couple times. I'll just keep moving. And then I'll be like,
Yeah, you froze up again, Jack.
yeah, no. I don't know if it's this program or what, because I'm hosting it.
Right.
Oh, you got the Mexican food? Email it to me. Let's go.
What?
I wish that would work. Email me some Mexican food.
Yeah, I got the Mexican food.
Mexican
Careful
food sounds good right now.
Careful with those refried beans.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Cram, how you doing? Nancy says, wonderful family here. Thank you, Nancy. You all are great. You all are like family.
Mm-hmm.
Good ends.
Good Nato. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, definitely got to get to the caves. I'm going to sideline you, T-Mac, on the big one.
I'm fine. I have no desire to do a 30+ mile hike in one night.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
I say let's do the caves in the spring.
So,
the far one. I want to get over to the other one.
The other one that's not as big of a walk. I'll head out there whenever you guys are going.
Yeah. And then, come mid-spring, we'll get into the new areas. Got some really good new areas.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for there's a couple places that I want to hit that are closer to me that I'm waiting for hunting season to end. It's like I'm like, oh, there's some really cool places just over across the border into Pennsylvania. BFRO has sightings there, and I want to go back there. And it's like it's hunting season. There's hunters all back there right now, so it's like, and we got to the end of February on that. So I'm like, well, got to hold off on those.
Well, I think Pennsylvania closes before that.
Do they?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
I think you'd be fine in Pennsylvania here in about a week or maybe a couple of weeks.
Okay. I just know for Ohio is like the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
But
February
you kind of give it things a little bit too of some time for everything to figure out that the hunters are gone and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine over in Pennsylvania right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Goodens, it's not that he needs it or he's not interested. It's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just it. You see me handle a 10-mile hike.
Yeah.
And I handle that no problem. But what they're talking about is, I mean, that's a lot. And
Yeah.
like I said, that's going to be more than probably a bit more than I can handle. I'm okay with that. So
Yeah. Too cold for long hikes unless you got electric socks and gloves or a jacket.
I got a jacket.
yeah, he does. He's got his
Mhm.
I remember I was
Mhm.
putting the thermal on your coat there. Check that out.
Yep.
Like you lit up. Oh gosh, man, on that thermal, you lit up so good with that coat turned on.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's funny.
Um,
Thank you all for joining us tonight. Really do appreciate you. If I miss saying hi to you, hello, I'm waving to you all. So glad you all are here. So anybody got any questions for us? I'd love to answer them for you. Amanda, how you doing? Shannon, hello. She gets some great stuff too, some great pictures. And they're always checking when she's out, they're always looking and directly at her. Awesome pictures.
that's what they put a Taco Bell up in my town. I know everyone's talking about the Mexican, and one of the back roads to get to the Taco Bell is by where my home area to hike is, and it's traffic down there is nuts on the weekend because everyone who's drunk takes the back road to Taco Bell.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So I'm looking at it like this road usually has 2-3 cars an hour at this time of night, and it's just loaded. Oh, it's everybody who was out drinking. They're heading to Taco Bell now, and they take the back roads trying to avoid police. And now I see police are monitoring that road.
Oh, I'm sure.
Patty says, I don't think there's any hunting in PA at the moment.
There might not be. And Patty, well, you'd know Patty. You live. Patty lives right next to Jumbo Woods, which is one of the state game lands.
Yeah.
So she would have a good idea.
Matt, you can heat up beanies and weenies with your jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Bob, how you doing, buddy?
You think you put that thing on high?
Jack, is that
Bob?
the Bob?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. There's Bob
Bob's
you always
a
talk
moderator
about.
on here.
So,
yeah, Bob's a moderator on here.
Okay. I can't see. I really can't see all that on this.
Georgianne says PA hunting was over Jan 25th.
Yeah, I knew it was close. I knew it was right around. We're right around it.
Yep.
Okay, so PA's done with then?
Yeah, PA's done.
Okay, is that just deer season? Because I know they got a bear season too. I mean, I imagine that would be
bear season's over.
Okay, yeah, I imagine that would be before they should be hibernated because we got the cold winter.
Yeah, bear season I believe is in the fall.
But last time I tried to check one of the places, and it was right on the Ohio-Pennsylvania line. Right when I got out of the car, there was a black bear. I mean, went tearing through the woods, and I caught it. I mean, I was able to see what it was, but I'm like, oh, that's a bear. It was right by me, but it tore through the woods. I could barely get the camera on. I think I caught part of it with the camera, but most of the noise it made, it was before I could even get the camera turned on.
Yeah. Joseph, there's Ohio has around the caves. What kind of rock is that, would you say?
It's like
glacier stone.
It's I don't know exactly what it is. I know it didn't it develop like that kind of like green, I don't know, that green bacteria over it or whatever that is.
It's just moss that's over it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It covers, I mean.
Sandstone.
Yeah, some of it's sandstone, some of it, I don't know, is some of it's sandstone. It all kind of depends what part of Ohio you're in.
Yeah. Well, he's saying around the caves.
Yeah, around the caves.
Around the caves.
I think it's that little green coating, almost like, that's what I was wondering if it was even like if there was iron or copper and heavy in that rock.
I think it's glacier stone, whatever they call glacier stone.
Yeah,
Nanite
You
or
can
whatever
tell.
they call that.
You
I
can
don't
tell it's something that the glaciers carves big time.
Right. Right. Bob, how you doing? Good here. Good,
Hey,
good.
Bob.
Unknown Cryptid, how you doing, man? Thank you for being here with us.
What do we
He
got?
said, yes, good evening, guys. Question is, what do you think about those tree structure Bigfoots make, and what do you think they mean? Trapper, we'll start off with you.
Oh, thanks. Depending on what kind of tree structure he's talking about, but like tree breaks, I think the way my personal opinion is, because it's the way I've been looking at them, is whatever which way they're facing, like they're broke to, they're facing that way, is like towards water or something, or a hunting area, something like that, something that's important to them. And I just think the tree structures are something like for us on the roads, we got traffic signs and stuff on the roads. It's kind of the same thing, I think, in the woods for them. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. What do you think, T-Mac?
Okay, and it depends on the types. We found like just the one that we found, the old one that we found when we were on the way out the other night. We found one that looks like it was old. That was definitely looked like it was a shelter style one. Some of the ones I found in Michigan and some other parts of Ohio too, they're more like the teepee shaped structures that I could literally walk inside of, and that looks like it was for shelter, at least for at some point. But I imagine too, it's like out in the middle, you're walking through the middle of the woods, you're away from trails and everything, and you find these things like far off the path. It's definitely a marker of which direction you're going in. But they look like, partially shelters, partially markers.
Yeah. And my point is, depending on which ones, if there's just a few leaners against the tree, I'm thinking that those are for who's passing by the area. Like the longer stick is for the male. Little size under that is for the female. And then if there's a smaller one, that's for like a junior.
Yeah.
The tree breaks, I'm with you on that. The bends, I believe those are like veins. Say if you got a tree bend touching a dead log, I believe, it keeps that log still intact. Kind of like running cable line,
Never
still
thought of
have
that.
energy. Because we do know that certain trees give off energy. Pine trees give off the most in this area. That's what we've found. And every tree gives off a different energy. So you'll see some trees touching, bends going into this tree, which we know a pine tree, like I said, pine tree gives off most energy. You'll see a bend coming over and touching that pine tree, so kind of like a network. But I'm with you on that. TPs, some of the ones that I've seen are smaller. I think those are like for training, teaching. You'll see them, about a foot off the ground. To the larger ones could be, to get out of the elements. Could be a passer through, saying, okay, I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to avoid hunting in your area. This is my area for the night. Yeah. But again, trying to come up with a great answer for that question, it's going to be speculation. I mean, there's, it could be different in all areas. But again, this is what we think. So great question. Got some more picks. Awesome. Can't wait. But I hope that we answered that to our best acknowledgement for you. That was good enough for you.
I said I found one in Michigan that was well over 30 feet tall that had, literally like big, gigantic trees that, like, I was there with my cousin, who's in good shape. Me and him couldn't have moved those to get him there. I don't honestly. He was like stunned because it's an area he's crossed a bunch. We couldn't figure out how it was there, but both of us could walk inside of it, at the same time. It was that big, but we don't know like what or why. I don't know. I know it took a lot of effort to make.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're behind there, Jack.
I know. I was just curious, kind of keeping track of things. Lots of activity here in Missouri, around Granite Flint, and yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of our caves are
Thank you. Goodness.
Thank you, Goodnato.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our caves, like I said, depends where you're in the state. Some of it's granite. Maybe that's what's up with the caves where we're at is granite, maybe.
Yeah. Granite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
That's
it
the
there.
word I was looking for is granite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think so. Yeah. Deter you. Yeah. Some of your I don't know. We ran into a couple structures that I think it would deter me to go past that area.
Yeah. Trees, water, food. Yeah.
And that's the thing is the X things. I mean, I have come across so many different X's. I mean, I notice them, and I've had some areas where there's a lot of stuff happen. I've had some areas where I go through the X and there's nothing happening. So I can't put a correlation to activity with the X's.
Yeah.
I think the X's are say don't go this way, stay out.
I went right through them. I've literally knocked the X over and everything, and have got nothing.
I'm on the fence with the X, because I don't know what it means. I see some. I've been in areas where I've seen a bunch. I've been in areas where I've seen only one big one. I've been in areas where they're just tiny, like in between trees. We've seen that, Trapper, where they were lined up.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Right.
That's a hard one to really figure out. A lot of people thought in the past portals, are those portals where they can come in and go. And
I always thought if anything, it'd be the tree bends that are those.
Yeah, I would say to find a portal, my brain would follow those tree arches, and see. See, get to the area where there's the most, where the energy is flowing.
As far as the tree bends too. I mean, we got the snowstorm that had, we got 45 inches, and it was this thick, heavy lake effect snow. And I walk into the woods around here, and there's so many tree bends everywhere. I mean, but it's like it's from, I don't know, man. Some of the trees didn't spring back up, some have, but a lot of them have just stayed bowed over. And I don't know. I can't put any correlation there either.
Yeah.
I've literally there were some that were stuck down on branches where I freed them and popped them back up, and nothing happened to me. But then the other night, I took the blue glow stick and something threw a stick at me, because they probably wanted the blue glow stick. So I don't know. I seem to have more activity with the blue glow sticks than I do with anything with branches.
Yeah. Tree bends. Those are amazing. We've seen some big trees where we've all tried to hold them down and try to bend it.
Mm-hmm.
That is so strange how, some of these big ones are bent without snapping. I mean, there was an instance me and MT were out and we were like, let's just see if we could bend one of these. And it took two of us and we're hanging from it. And we're like, okay, there's no way, there's just no way. I mean, so you got to think how delicate how strong these things are and delicate. Like how is it done? You know, that's just I try to picture it in my brain, and I'm just seeing this big, grabbing it and just bending it. But then you think at some point that tree would snap. You know, it's just it's crazy. Some of them that we've seen.
What do we got?
Oh wow, Sue. I'd like to see that. Oh yeah, Joseph. I've seen it where they'll bend them on like major game trail where tons of deer go, and it will be bent over to stop the deer. Because deer won't jump and run; they'll go around. They'll find a different route. Just like at that kill site, how the deer came in. This is what I seen at that kill site. If you go back and you look at it, there was bends in a circle, so that if the deer got in there, it wouldn't go anywhere. And then they put that pond stuff in it, so the deer would come over, sniff, look around, went in it, and poop. That was it. But they were using those bends for ambush. Absolutely. Yep. That's like fresh, healthy trees that are broken and splintered. Yeah. 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 Males probably do all the bending. Females do all the artwork. And what was it? What if it's the reverse? Wasn't the T-Rexes, the females were bigger than the males?
Oh my gosh, I don't know when it comes into that stuff.
We're gonna get into that. I mean, it depends. Like in sharks, the females are bigger than the males. Most mammals, it's the male is bigger than the female.
Yeah.
So, like if you're talking bear or coyotes or wolves, bobcats, everything, the male's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What if it's the opposite? We'll never know.
Well, let's just say both of them are doing it.
Yeah, or both. Yeah.
Well, I think in this area, something's definitely up in the trees playing around with us, and I think that's how they're evading us up high. It's like because it's not our natural tendency to look that direction.
Absolutely. We see a lot of that in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
We've had stuff thrown, dropped, glow sticks.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Who was it? Me and Tin Man. Glow stick fell right down in front of us out of the tree.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd wake you up. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, it did too.
I think I was out there with you because you guys called me on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah, we just answered that one, of course. It's hard to tell what they mean because I've seen so many sizes. I don't know. Like I said, they used to say that they could be portals. Yeah. But with all the sizes, I'm just not sure. Bella, go. Lay down.
And I mean, each of us has kind of like our own tactics or whatever, but I kind of like if they set something up, I'll go knock it down. Let's see what happens. Just see what's going on,
Yeah. I think every place is haunted. Every place has got some kind of, there's a story behind every piece of land.
Yeah, there is.
The land that you live on, there's a story about.
Well, right. I was just saying here that they found that the Indian mound that I do a lot of the stuff now, they say that was the capital of the Erie Nation, and that the Iroquois raided and massacred thousands of those people right here in Conneaut, right at that Indian Mound.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, there's a reason why those parks are there. There's a reason why there's state parks. There's a reason why there's city parks. Dig into it a little bit.
yeah.
I got to the point where they would tell me no more, that I had to pay $200 to get more information on it. I was like, I know enough.
Yeah.
Nancy B says hello.
So,
What's up, Nancy?
yeah, I think some of the Native American activity that's just around us here in Ohio, I think absolutely phenomenal. Actually, kind of goes into the realm of unexplainable. Some of the stuff that they're found with them. Let's say from the giants to some of the skulls having multiple rows of teeth, all kinds of stuff. And I say how all the stuff disappeared. All the evidence was stolen by, and a lot of it was taken by the Smithsonian Institute. Came around. I know that's what a lot of the giant bones that were found in Conneaut. Smithsonian came here and take them. I found the news articles on that. But if you ask the Smithsonian Institute what'd you do with that stuff, they said we never got it.
Right. So, Terry asked, how about dressing up like a squash during a hunt, smelling all funky, just my goofy thoughts bouncing between my ears? I wouldn't do it.
Well, you remember when we first started this whole thing together, Jack, we talked about doing that. But, for one, I think it will make, if something would happen, it will make it look like that we're faking it. So we decided never to do
that would be one thing. Two, you could, somebody else that may wander across us could end up pulling their gun and shooting. But I mean, we still got a chicken costume that needs to be worn in the woods first.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah, I'll probably get shot doing that too.
We'll put you at claim 3 in it.
I'd rather do it at claim 3 where I know I'm not going to get shot.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I wouldn't do it, Terry, just for the plain fact that is, I've seen stuff out there that would scare a lot of people. And some of these things are aggressive. Trapper knows this. And if something went south, it would be bad. It would be really bad.
Okay.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Cram says that's why stuff gets thrown at me, and it's kind of the reverse. They started throwing stuff at me first, so when I find their stuff, I knock it down. So that's kind of it's kind of started more that way, and it's more of when I was a kid, we had some of our experiences because we knocked their stuff down. We ended up having something blocking our path and trying to scare us away. It wouldn't work now with me, but again, I didn't start out doing that. I started out going into the woods looking for the animals, and they started throwing rocks at me and screaming at me. So it's like now when I see stuff that I know is theirs, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Let me lock that over.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes that way of like, well, I know how they treat me already. That's the way they're going to treat me already. So
the enforcer says, y'all ever taunt them?
Yeah,
I tried it at the beginning, and I don't do it now.
Yeah, we tried that at the beginning. No.
As far as taunting, I think they despise the really bright flashlights. And one of the things I'll do for taunting is flicker that flashlight. I think it drives it. And every time I've done that several times when they start throwing rocks at me all of a sudden when I flicker that flashlight. So sometimes they don't, but that's as far as like for taunting or what I know to do. Or like I said, if I see something that I think is one of their structures, yeah, I'll knock it down now.
Good, Nato. Yeah. And that night I had a bear tracking me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It used to be where used to be where Jack would say I was bait, and I did act like bait more than half time in the very beginning of all this. And then he gave me a bag full of meat one day and go gift, and I'm carrying his bag full of meat out there, and next thing you know, here's a bear tracking us.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And the only reason we knew it was a bear is because I gave the meat back to you, and I went and tracked and tracked whatever was tracking us, and came up on the bear.
Yeah,
that's funny.
It used to be, like, okay, I'll go do it. You know, that was the dumb one. I'll do it.
Hey, you learned. You learned, man. You got some good experience out of that.
I did.
Good experience out of that.
A lot of the stuff that you sent me into. Oh, I don't know. That one time we did that episode on the Googway. You remember that? You had me go into its nest. Yeah.
Yeah. Don, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for being here.
You guys got to have me for that. You really got to have me for that.
Oh, don't worry. You're going to get your chance.
Because it's just, remember we had that, we're at Beaver Creek, and there's like literally zero breeze. I mean, the wind would not blow, and I would have loved to have had a breeze in my face at that point. And this leaf is just wigging out. And he's videoing it. And I said, oh, hold on a second. Rip the leaf off. Like, I just made 1,000 of Jack's viewers scream.
Made me almost scream. I was like, what the? Oh my God. I'm getting out of here. I was like, I didn't do it. Hunt him.
Yeah, we're done with this. We ain't playing this stupid game. Yeah, that's some of my, like I said, I'll walk in there peacefully and they throw rocks at me. So I figure, well, if that's what they're going to do when I'm in there peacefully, might as well not be.
Yeah.
And like I said, they hit me with a stick the other night. I mean, they hit me in the back, but and I think right now I'm like, if they can't find rocks to throw at us, it's just why we're not having, because everything's frozen. You know, I think that's why we're getting, because then I had a stick thrown at me when we were out there after the police call. I had a stick thrown, but it's like, yeah, they don't have the rocks to throw right now, because I think otherwise we would have had rocks thrown at us.
Right. Yeah. All right, y'all. Any more questions? Love to answer them. I'm going to wrap it up here. My ears are just pounding. I think I'm starting to get my temperature back.
Yeah.
Always at night. It's like, mornings are fine, and then afternoons, it's just, my cheeks are all starting to burn up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapid knocks.
Well, that's what I had. The other thing, the rapid knocks. That's what I kept having. I call the area. It's the area where I had the daytime sighting that I sent to you guys. Everything was frozen solid, so it started knocking on the tree. Started doing rapid knocks on the tree, and I literally, I'm like, I stayed there and I guess you'd say has messed with this thing long enough to prove that like this is not wind knocking two trees together, and try to get around it to try to catch different angles. I was hitting it with the thermal, could not catch what it was.
Right. Art, he said at claim 3 he would.
Yeah.
Thank you, Goodens. I know, Trapper, you're sick too, aren't you?
Yeah, last night was not a good night. It was an all-nighter for me.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmy, thank you. I do appreciate you, Kimmy. Thank you.
Yeah, because my plan was today. I had a plan today to get up early in the morning and go do a major hike, an all-day hike. And I was I even called you and I told you I was going to have you meet me halfway, and then so we have a vehicle halfway, and then continue on with the hike and come back, and then drive and pick up my vehicle.
Yeah, I probably look like look at my cheeks are all turning red. My temperature is like skyrocketing again, man. This is crazy. He said with ammonia, yeah, it will come and go, and he said, well, nights are going to be worse, but he said when I go to lay down to keep two to three pillows underneath my hips and then just one under my head. So, I don't drown in my sleep or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thought.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Some marbles in a slingshot, T-Mac.
the problem with that is like I said, I need like 4 or 5 hands. Like, and if I'm going to add something that's like that, marbles in a slingshot, man, that's 2-handed. I don't have the hands to do it.
Yeah, and
So,
it seems like at night it's worse because you're double hand, and this is sometimes what I think is so funny when you get these comments, you get the haters going,
yeah.
Oh, you guys are faking it, you guys through. But I pan the camera, I'm holding a big flashlight, holding equipment, holding a
Right.
sound thing, pan over, and everybody's hands are full. It's like okay,
Yeah, right. Yeah, we usually are like. That's why I love trying to get my friend John with me, because he's not videoing. He has no interest in videoing, but he loves coming out on the hunts. So then, he'll bring a sidearm with him, and he's got his flashlight. He's got a free hand.
Yeah.
So,
I hope they're all right, Kimmy. Blue is going around. It's like everybody's getting sick. I know people that were sick 2 weeks ago just got sick again. It's like, oh God.
It's going around.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
this is the healthiest one.
That's what I said. I said I think I do believe I'm on record saying Trapper's going to be the last one of us alive. So I know it's a little morbid, but we're just gonna just be factual here. I don't want to say morbid. I'm factual. I'm kind of like spreadsheet anyway. That's how I am. That's why you see me dry, but still, like I said, I want to put humor into it. Yeah. So, but yeah, the other thing is, I kind of go with the attitude with these things here. It's like, I don't, it's like, I'm not gonna, I've heard people say this about different sightings. Well, I think it's real because the person got afraid and screamed and ran, and then say my stuff is fake because I didn't get afraid and scream and didn't run. I like, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean my
rule
stuff
number
was
one.
fake. Right. What we say? I say rule number 1: don't blank the bed. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna stay calm. We're not like one of the other channels that's their MO of crying and running. That's just not me.
Yeah, that's rule number 1. That's before anybody comes out, they get a list of rules. Even Trapper, when I first, do not run.
Yeah, do not. Yeah.
That's.
Oh gosh, because your son Junior said something about running. I said, "What's the matter with you? You don't run. It's what you're out there to look." That's one of the things is that's what we're out there to find. So if we come across something creepy, well, that's what we were looking for. Why would we run away?
Right.
I say there's, we may, if we feel like our safety is in there, we may back away slowly, but prey animals run, and we're not prey animals.
Right. Even black bear, you don't want to run from a black bear. They will get you. You want
first of all, you're not going to, and that's the thing is pretty much anything out in the woods, especially us, but even somebody healthy, you're not going to outrun them. You're not winning that race.
30 miles per hour, 35 miles per hour.
Right. So that's what I like to fire something that, that goes 1,100 feet per second, or it's faster.
Yeah. But there's some people that don't have that stuff, even subscribers that go out and never run from a black bear.
Yeah, you still never run. A black bear, especially. Never. Black bear size matters with a black bear.
Get out there, make yourself look big, make a lot of noise. Coyotes bang against a tree, make a lot of noise. Usually can get a coyote to take off.
You just do not act like a prey animal. That's it. Yeah, right. They're used to things running from them.
Yep.
So, no, that's not what we are. So, but and say realistically, none of us are going to get away anyway. So why run?
Right.
And there's, like I said, there's no grizzlies here, so
Right.
we're not running. And honestly, if these things, Bigfoot, I think if we were on its menu, we'd be lunch already.
Oh,
So I think, as I said, they're definitely not trying to kill us.
right.
So that's kind
But
of
all right, everyone. T-Mac, thank you. Trapper, thank you. I appreciate you. Everyone out there. Sorry, I'm plummeting really fast.
Yeah.
I'm like, my chest is starting to really hurt. Like my temperature, my cheeks are probably red as heck.
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all, man. And
yes, thank you, thank you, thank you,
thank you, thank you, thank you for the donations. Thank you for joining the channel.
If you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like button.
Check out T-Mac's channel. Check out the Unknown Outdoors. If you go to the home YouTube page, scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see a list of people that I follow and I'm subscribed to. Please subscribe to them. I've watched them and they've helped me so much. Please, please, please.
Jack, like our videos that we just did here this last, at Claim 2, they correlated and matched so well together. So if you watched mine and then you watched Jack, you will have the entire picture of everything between the two, and they matched really good.
Right. And that's another good way to show everybody that, what we're seeing is legit. Nothing's staged. Nothing,
Right.
You can't say, Jack, oh, that was T-Mac. No, because T-Mac was filming. No, well, that was Trapper. No, because Trapper was filming at the same time. You can't do it. There's nothing. I mean, there's every angle. We're all split apart. We're all covering it. So if you don't see it, that something happened on mine, you might want to get over to Trapper's, watch his. And if, you think it's coming from the other side, you might want to get over to T-Max and watch his.
Well, not only that,
field of view.
Like the one time I was out there with you and MT, I caught a disembodied voice on my recording. I was right next to you guys, and it didn't come across yours, and no explanation. And you've had that happen too, where you've had sounds come across yours. You're right next to me, and it doesn't come across mine.
Right. All right, y'all. With that said, thank you for being here tonight. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here with us. We really do appreciate you. God bless.
Yes.
Video dropping tomorrow. And I got some pictures to throw up. Yeah, you'll really like those. So get over to the Facebook page, and they'll be up tomorrow also. With that said, I'm Jack the Cameraman.
I'm Trapper.
T-Max American Experience.
All right. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank you for being here.